everyone, welcome back. This is Dana at 3 Acre Homestead. I'm glad you're here today. Today we're going to make vanilla, homemade vanilla. I've got Fit and Clean grade A organic Madagascar vanilla beans. You can buy different grades of vanilla, and you can buy vanilla that is grown from various places around the world. Madagascar happens to be my favorite. Mexico usually makes a really good vanilla bean. So today, all we do is we take a bean. I have 3 jars sitting beside us that we're gonna use. I'm planning on using 2 jars, but we may end up using 3. So this is what a vanilla bean looks like. This is the whole pack of them. So down each one, we're simply going to cut down the center of them, just opening them up so that the insides get exposed. I like making my own because I know I can buy whatever vanilla bean I want, and you infuse it with an 80 proof vodka. That's how you make any tincture anyway, is 80 proof vodka, and then whatever herb you're using for medicinal purposes. You use the 80 proof. So there's lots of outside herbs. Mullein, wild lettuce is great for pain, like as strong as some morphines. I have some of that. I have used it. So then, okay, so I don't know if you can see, but I just opened it up. And we're gonna do this to every bean. And then we're just gonna plop it in our jar. I have some up in the cupboard, but you need to let this infuse for about 6 months or so. Now I have some, I made that's in my cupboard now. I'm getting really low. That's probably 10 years old that I made that. I still think it works great. And I also think you could use a nicer vodka than, what is this, Quality House vodka, but I'm not drinking it. I'm just cooking with it, so I don't find it necessary to buy a real expensive jar of vodka for this purpose. It's been raining outside for 2 days. I don't know if you can hear that whirring noise next to me. I think I spoke about it in another video. My growing tent down in the basement, I ended up not liking it. It was not motivating for me. It was dark, had to lug water. So I bought a little greenhouse that's sitting right next to me for about $100 from a store called Rural King. Yeah, Rural King. It's a farm store. And it's in my living room because I know with the high winds we sometimes get here, I can't put it outside, it'd blow away. I don't know how many beans this came, 50 beans. And I don't find a rhyme or reason of how many beans to put in here. I probably am glad I brought over that 3rd jar. We've been keeping busy in our free time. We have these bushes in the backyard. They're wild, called Russian olives. They don't grow olives. They do grow a little bitty berry that is edible, but they're so invasive, and we let them get away from us. And then wild roses that are in our back pastures, and we let them get away from us. So for 2 days we've been outside. That's why my face is a little red, trying to get rid of that stuff, try to stay on top of it better. Oh, and my arms are, I don't know if you can see that. All that is from those roses. No, I'm not sick. It's just from those roses. They're so terrible. This used to be a sheep farm way back, and the farmers would plant those wild roses to make fences because they're so stickery, and they entangle themselves in themselves. They entangle themselves in the pine trees. They're awful. And we also have wild grapes, very awful as well, and they tunnel under the ground and go up in your trees and look ugly and just pop up anywhere they decide to pop up. So we're trying to get after that. And then we have wild honeysuckle. Again, very invasive. I thought it was pretty when it first came out. I was like, oh wow, a wild honeysuckle. Wrong plan. Wrong plan. Oh, talking about wild herbs. Plantain is a weed we hear. There's broadleaf and narrowleaf. It does not grow bananas or plantains. I'm not sure why they call it that, but it is. That's what they call it. And I have a lot of that. So what you can do with that is, if you get a mosquito bite or a bee sting or stinging nettle, which we have quite a bit of that too, which makes a really lovely tea. You just have to be careful picking the stinging nettle. So if you get a sting of some kind, and it really does work because I use it on my children too. You pick a leaf, make sure it's clean, and then chew it up and put it over that. Chew it, make a poultice, and then put it over that bite and let it sit there for a few minutes, or as long as you feel like you want it there. And it makes those stings go away. I promise. I'm not making it up. When I heard about it, of course I gotta try it, see what happens. Try it on myself first before I try it on my loved ones in case something weird happens. And so those are just natural wild remedies that I like to learn stuff, because if you don't have anti-itch ointment or apocalypse happens, it's good to know these things. Self-sufficiency. Mullein is good for coughs. Make a tincture out of that and drink it. I studied a lot of herbalism in COVID when I didn't know what was happening and I had nothing better to do. So I'm just scoring all of these first. I decided that's a little quicker. I think my least favorite vanilla that I grew, because I bought a packet of around the world type vanilla beans, so it had 4 or 6 different countries. Indonesia was one of them. That was probably my least favorite. Madagascar was my favorite. Mexican is good. I can't remember where all the places were from. It's been so long ago. The vanilla beans are a little bit of a investment up front, but as much vanilla as I'm going to make, it saves me money in the long run. I don't remember what I paid for this. I want to say somewhere in $20 to $30 range, and then the cost of the vodka, which this vodka wasn't expensive, but of course, if you drink vodka, you know it can get very costly. So this will last me for a long, long time. Once my mom told me alcoholics drink stuff when I was a child, learning about that kind of stuff, that alcoholics will drink vanilla and some of those flavorings. Oh, and this is not a flavoring, this is the real deal. They drink it, and then when I first learned how to make this, I went, oh, now I know why they drink it if they can't get their hands on anything else. Kind of gets on your fingers. You wear gloves if you don't like stuff like this on your fingers. I don't mind it. Doesn't bother me. They wash with soap and water. This won't stain. It's just right now the oils from the beans are getting on my fingers. I did not count to make sure I didn't get cheated, that they did indeed put 50 vanilla beans in there. But we're done. 10 minutes. And we've scored 50 vanilla beans. Have our jars. I just labeled the outside with a washable label. I got that one. I can't find the opening. Oh, there it is. So I'm just going to divide these into three jars. So it should make a really nice, potent vanilla flavor. If y'all have a better way to open vanilla beans, let me know. But I don't have one. Probably put 2 of these jars in storage in my basement, kind of dark down there, and won't mess, clutter up my spice cabinet or my baking cabinet. I don't do a ton of baking. I'm just not all that good at it, to be honest. This vanilla smells so good. I have another bottle of vodka if this one doesn't go far enough, but I certainly think it will. You could also make a tincture with jalapenos in vodka, and that's really good for arthritic pain. You just have to be careful so you don't get it in your eyes. Oh, one time I don't have arthritis, but I made a jalapeno paste or lotion, cream type stuff so you could put it on your hands. Just make sure you don't, again, touch your eyes. Okay, my alarm went off. I have an alarm that goes off at 3:25 to remind me to punch out at work. But they sent us home at 3 today. So it went off, and when it went off, it turned off my video. So I'm back now. And I thought for a second, oh my goodness, did that first part of the video not record? I was gonna have to start over, and I'd already cut all the beans, which you can figure out. But so to check I did wash my hands to check to see if the video recorded or if I needed to kind of start it over. And I did have to use a brush, a little, like a Scrub Daddy, on my fingers to get some of this oil off. So again, for those ladies with the pretty nails, when you don't like things under your nails, oh, you might want to think about gloves. I don't know how many I'm doing in each jar, not really counting. Just so it's approximate. I think that's plenty fine. Okay. There they are. I'm not worried about that. Okay, so now all you simply do, fill her up with the vodka. I've put as much in as possible. Label it, put a lid on it, or put a lid on it, label it, and then throw it in the dark cupboard. I may have to get that other bottle. When you bake with this vanilla, just keep in mind that sometimes you'll see some little dark flecks in your food or whatever you're baking or adding vanilla to, and that's the beans and the residue from the vanilla. So if you want it perfect, there's a clear vanilla you can buy from the baking shops if you need it for that purpose. I better stop. I bet they're gonna overfill when I push the rest of the beans down. Get the threads to go on right. Probably a vanilla bean in the way. And just like that, in about 20 minutes or so, depending on how much you want to make, how many beans you have, we've got 3 beautiful jars of vanilla. Hasn't turned brown, but it will. It doesn't get as dark, I think, as the store, but it will darken up. So 3 cans of vanilla ready to go. Thank you for stopping by and watching how to make vanilla beans. Thank you. See you later. Bye.